My life took a significant turn when I grasped this simple philosophy. Invest more effort in self-improvement than in your job. This principle, which I adopted at 25, has been a game changer. Working hard at your job earns you a living, which is good. But working hard on yourself can earn you a fortune, which is even better. Initially, I didn't mind putting in the hard work at my job, but I didn't see much change. It was only when I began to invest in myself that things started to shift. Let me express this philosophy in a more philosophical manner. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. It comes by becoming attractive yourself. This whole process is what we call personal development. You can have more than you currently do because you can become more than you are. If you can increase your value threefold, fivefold, you can easily multiply your income by the same margin. But the key is to work hard on yourself. This involves learning multiple skills, perhaps even multiple languages. Working on yourself can be challenging because sometimes the hardest person to work with is yourself. You may ask yourself why you're reluctant when you should be excited. This is where the real work lies. My first mentor, Mr. Shaw, used to say that the world is mostly full of nice people, with only about 11 or 12 truly unpleasant individuals. He said they tend to move around a lot, so you might encounter one occasionally. But if you do, just remember, there are only a handful of them in the world. You can handle that. However, the real challenge lies in working on yourself, your personality, temperament, mindset, and cultural understanding. All these are essential for becoming a responsible, growing, attractive, powerful, and skillful communicator. Once you master these aspects, the world belongs to you. Are you ready to take control of your life? Are you tired of living by other people's rules, letting them dictate what you can and cannot do? If so, listen carefully. Never disclose what you do. Many of us live our lives confined by the expectations and limitations imposed by others. We allow their doubts and criticisms to hold us back from reaching our full potential. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power to break free and live life on your own terms. Imagine for a moment what your life could be like if you stopped caring about others' opinions, stopped seeking their approval and validation. If you had the courage to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule. That's the life that awaits you when you embrace the philosophy of never revealing what you do. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, isn't it important to consider others' opinions? And you're right to an extent. We shouldn't be selfish and inconsiderate. But there's a difference between being considerate and letting others control your life. When you tell people what you do, you're giving them the power to dictate your actions. You're allowing them to plant seeds of doubt and negativity in your mind. Before long, those seeds start to take root, and you find yourself paralyzed by fear and indecision. But when you adopt the mindset of never revealing what you do, you reclaim that power. You take back control of your life and destiny. You become the captain of your own ship, charting a course towards your dreams and ambitions without being beholden to anyone else's expectations or limitations. Now, some of you might worry, won't that make me seem arrogant or self-centered? Absolutely not. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When you live by the philosophy of never disclosing what you do, you're actually being more considerate and respectful of others. Think about it this way. When you seek the approval and validation of others, you're essentially saying that their opinions matter more than your own. You're putting their desires and expectations above your own dreams and ambitions. But when you never reveal what you do, you're acknowledging that your life is your own to live, and that you alone get to decide what's best for you. And let me tell you something. People respect that kind of self-assurance and confidence. They may not always agree with your decisions, but they'll respect the fact that you're living life on your own terms, and that you're not letting anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do. Now, I know that embracing this mindset isn't always easy. We've been conditioned from a young age to seek the approval of others, to conform to societal norms and expectations. But if you want to truly live a life of freedom and fulfillment, you have to be willing to break free from those chains. Once you do, it's like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. You'll feel a sense of liberation and empowerment that you've never experienced before. You'll be able to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule, and you'll be able to live life on your own terms without letting anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do. But don't just take my word for it. Let me share with you a story that illustrates the power of never disclosing what you do. Many years ago, I had the pleasure of meeting a young man named Michael. Michael was a budding entrepreneur with big dreams and even bigger ambitions. But everywhere he turned, he faced doubt and criticism from those around him. His friends and family told him that his business ideas were unrealistic and that he should just stick to a safe and secure job. His colleagues and peers mocked him for his aspirations, telling him that he'd never amount to anything. And even complete strangers would look at him with disdain and skepticism, as if to say, "Who do you think you are?" But you know what Michael did? He never told them what he did. He ignored their doubts and criticisms and pushed forward with his dreams and ambitions. He worked tirelessly day and night to turn his ideas into reality. And you know what? He succeeded against all odds. Michael built a thriving business empire that not only made him wealthy beyond his wildest dreams, but also allowed him to positively impact the lives of countless people. And do you know what the best part is? Those same people who once doubted and mocked him were now clamoring to be a part of his success. They wanted to bask in his glory and ride the coattails of his achievements. But Michael didn't let them. He stayed true to himself and his philosophy of never disclosing what he did. He didn't seek their validation or approval because he knew that he didn't need it. He was living life on his own terms, and that was all that mattered. Okay, now I'm not telling you this story to brag or to make you feel jealous of Michael's success. I'm telling you this story because it's a powerful example of what can happen when you embrace the mindset of never disclosing what you do. When you stop seeking the approval and validation of others and start living life on your own terms, that's when true success and fulfillment become possible. That's when you're able to tap into your full potential and achieve things that others can only dream of. But it all begins with that shift in mindset, with the willingness to break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations, with the courage to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule. And let me tell you, it's not always easy. There will be times when the doubts and criticisms of others start to creep in, moments when you'll feel like conforming to societal norms and expectations. But in those moments, you have to remember why you started down this path in the first place. You have to recall the dreams and ambitions that once burned brightly within you, and find the strength and resilience to keep pushing forward, no matter the obstacles or challenges. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. The only approval and validation you need is from yourself. And when you embrace that truth, when you live by the philosophy of never disclosing what you do, that's when true freedom and fulfillment become possible. So let me ask you this. Are you ready to take control of your life? Are you ready to break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations? Are you ready to pursue your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule? If so, then repeat after me. I will never tell people what I do. I will live life on my own terms, and I will not let anyone else dictate what I can and cannot do. I am the captain of my own ship, and I alone get to chart my course. Say it with conviction, say it with passion, say it with the kind of unwavering determination that can move mountains and overcome any obstacle. Because when you embrace that mindset, when you truly internalize the philosophy of never disclosing what you do, that's when the doors of opportunity will start to open for you. That's when you'll be able to tap into your full potential and achieve things that others can only dream of. So what are you waiting for? The time for action is now. The time to take control of your life and live it on your own terms is right here in this very moment. Don't let anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do. Don't let their doubts and criticisms hold you back from reaching your full potential. Embrace the mindset of never disclosing what you do, and watch as your dreams and ambitions become a reality. It won't be easy, but nothing worth achieving ever is. There will be challenges and obstacles along the way, but with the right mindset and unwavering determination, you can overcome them all. So go for it, my friends. Embrace the philosophy of never disclosing what you do, and watch as your life transforms before your very eyes. Watch as you break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations and take control of your own destiny. The road ahead won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And at the end of the journey, you'll look back with a sense of pride and accomplishment, knowing that you lived life on your own terms and achieved things that others could only dream of. And let me tell you, when you truly embrace the philosophy of never disclosing what you do, it's like a whole new world opens up to you. A world where limits and boundaries no longer exist, where you're free to dream as big and as boldly as you want, without anyone telling you that it's impossible. Because here's the thing, my friends, the only limits in this life are the ones we impose on ourselves when we buy into other people's doubts and criticisms, when we let their fears and insecurities become our own. That's when we start to put up walls and boundaries around our dreams and ambitions. But when we embrace the mindset of never disclosing what we do, those walls come tumbling down. We're no longer shackled by the limitations and expectations of others. We're free to soar, to reach for the stars, and to achieve things that others can only dream of. Right now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but isn't it important to listen to advice and feedback from others? Shouldn't we take their perspectives into account? And you're absolutely right. It's important to be open to different viewpoints and to consider the opinions of those who have more experience or expertise than we do. But there's a big difference between listening to advice and letting others dictate what you can and cannot do. When you embrace the mindset of never disclosing what you do, you're not shutting out the world or ignoring the perspectives of others. You're simply choosing to be the ultimate arbiter of your own life, the captain of your own ship. You're willing to listen to advice and feedback, but at the end of the day, you're the one who gets to decide which course to chart. And let me tell you, that kind of self-determination and self-reliance is a quality that is deeply admired and respected by others. People may not always agree with your decisions or your approach, but they respect the fact that you're living life on your own terms and that you're not letting anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do. But don't just take my word for it. Let me share with you another story that illustrates the power of this mindset. Many years ago, I had the pleasure of meeting a young woman named Sarah. Sarah was a talented artist with a passion for painting and a dream of one day having her work displayed in the most prestigious galleries around the world. But everywhere she turned, she faced doubt and criticism from those around her. Her parents told her that pursuing a career in art was a waste of time and that she should focus on something more practical and stable. Her friends mocked her lofty ambitions, telling her she'd never make it as an artist and that she should give up on her dreams. Do you know what Sarah did? She never told them what she did. She ignored their doubts and criticisms and continued to pursue her passion for painting with unwavering determination. She worked tirelessly day and night, honing her craft and perfecting her skills. She sought out mentors and teachers who could help her grow and develop as an artist. But she never let anyone else dictate what she could and couldn't do with her art. And you know what happened? Against all odds, Sarah's talent and hard work paid off. Her paintings started to gain recognition and acclaim, and before long, she was being invited to showcase her work in some of the most prestigious galleries around the world. And do you know what the best part is? Those same people who once doubted and mocked her were now clamoring to be a part of her success. They wanted to bask in her glory and ride the coattails of her achievements. But Sarah didn't let them. She stayed true to herself and her philosophy of never telling people what she did. She didn't seek their validation or approval because she knew that she didn't need it. She was living life on her own terms, and that was all that mattered. But it's not just about achieving success and recognition, my friends. The philosophy of never telling people what you do is about so much more than that. It's about living a life of authenticity, a life where you're true to yourself and your values, and where you're not letting anyone else dictate who you are or what you can achieve. Because here's the thing, when we let other people's expectations and limitations dictate our lives, we start to lose sight of who we really are. We start to conform to societal norms and expectations, even if they go against our deepest desires and passions. But when we embrace the mindset of never telling people what we do, we reclaim our sense of self. We're no longer beholden to anyone else's definition of success or happiness. We're free to define those things for ourselves and to live a life that is truly authentic and fulfilling. And let me tell you, there's nothing more liberating or empowering than that. When you're living life on your own terms, when you're pursuing your dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule, you'll experience a sense of joy and contentment that is simply unmatched. But it's not just about personal fulfillment, my friends. When you embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, you also have the power to inspire and uplift those around you. Think about it. When you have the courage to live life on your own terms, to pursue your dreams and ambitions without letting anyone else dictate what you can and cannot do, you're setting an example for others to follow. You're showing them that it's possible to break free from the chains of other people's expectations and limitations and to live a life of true freedom and fulfillment. And let me tell you, that kind of inspiration and leadership is something that is sorely needed in this world. Too many people are trapped in lives that they didn't choose for themselves, trapped by the expectations and limitations of others. But when they see someone like you, someone who has the courage to live life on their own terms, it can be a powerful wake-up call. It can be the spark that ignites a fire within them, the inspiration they need to start pursuing their own dreams and ambitions without fear of judgment or ridicule. And before you know it, you'll have started a ripple effect that can change the lives of countless people around you. So never underestimate the power of your example, my friends. When you embrace the mindset of never telling people what you do, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the lives of those around you too. Of course, none of this is easy. Embracing the idea of never telling people what you do takes guts, resilience, and a determination to stick to your own path. There will be times when others' doubts and criticisms get to you, when you feel like giving in and doing what everyone else thinks you should. But in those tough moments, you've got to dig deep and remember why you started this journey in the first place. Because here's the thing, my friends, you're not alone. Many others have walked this road before you. Think of folks like Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, and Steve Jobs. They didn't let anyone tell them what they could or couldn't do. They chased their dreams with all they had, even when others doubted them. And look at what they achieved. They changed the world. You can do it too. You're just like them, with big dreams and ambitions. You've got to have the courage to stick to your guns and follow your own path no matter what. It's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. You'll face challenges, sure, but with the right mindset and determination, you can overcome anything. Remember, you're in charge of your own destiny. Don't let others' opinions hold you back. Embrace the idea of never telling people what you do and watch your life change for the better. It's all about living life on your own terms and achieving things others can only dream of. So what are you waiting for? Start now and make your dreams a reality.